All right, traders. So as always, I like to start these webinars off by just welcoming everybody here. My name is Sean Kozak. I am the CEO of Tickblaze, and this is a Tickblaze Marketplace presentation. Now, the Tickblaze Marketplace is what we consider a trading platform app store, right? We develop apps, indicators, strategies, algos, trading tools, and resources for traders. They're built for use inside of the Tickblaze trading platform, and this is an algo event. Why is that exciting? Well, because some things can't be done manually. And I think there's a time and a place when we really need to look at using computers to drive home the efficiency of why a computer can do things that we can't. There's no replacement to a human being in terms of trading, but there is definitely a replacement to what we can and cannot do physically, mentally, and at a capacity to make cognitive decisions in the market. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to discuss an order flow heat map algo. Now, this isn't just some normal algo, okay? Anything to do with order flow takes a lot longer to build, test, and deploy because order flow it's a science, and there is a lot going on inside of order flow. Now, the key here is that we are going to be discussing order flow confluence. How many of you guys know what order flow or confluence means? Type a yes if you know what confluence means. The reason this is such a powerful word is that when used properly, especially with order flow, it can unlock hidden gems that you would not be able to see to the human eye. And this is a powerful concept, right? And so why is this titled Order Flow Prop Scalping? Because this is purely a day trading system. This is purely meant for day trading and scalping. Order flow is not meant for really, really, really big time frames. It is meant to be used as an intraday trading methodology. And we're going to go right into the details here. Now, you could use this non-directionally, but we have built this as a directional strategy. Now, that doesn't mean a trend. This means just directionally, meaning momentum-based scalping. This could be momentum in a trend, but it doesn't have to be a trending market because when we're looking at order flow, you're looking for scalps based on confluence. And I promise you, you're going to really, really, really enjoy what we're about to share here today. Okay. Especially for anybody that has a hard time being in the market, right? If you're somebody that doesn't like being in the market for long periods of time because your emotions get the best of you, or let's just face it, you don't have a lot of time to trade and you just, hey, I got to go in, I got to make my money in an hour or less and be done. This is going to be something that I would really encourage you to spend more time looking at because that's what this is designed to do. Now, we are recording this. We'll send you a recording. If you have questions, put them in the chat box. I probably won't go over them until the end of the presentation, so just bear with me. I've got a lot to cover. And my team is here to help you. So anytime you need any assistance or anything like that, just let us know and we'll be more than happy to help. Okay. So does everybody understand that? Give me a yes, that makes sense. Welcome for everybody that just joined us here. I normally like to kind of just do an intro like this because, people are logging in, Zoom is doing an update. You guys get the picture. Fantastic. We are talking about trading. And with trading, there's a lot of risk. Truthfully, everybody's probably going to lose their money 10 times before they ever make any. And I can't guarantee you anything. That's a lot of pressure. I wouldn't put that on myself nor my worst enemy. The markets are a breeding ground for chaos, and it is impossible to guarantee future results, never mind any results. But we are here to educate, we are here to inform and instruct and show you how our tools can help you become a better trader. Does everybody understand the disclaimer? Please type a Y in the chat box that you've read it, you understand it, you accept it, and we can move on like professionals. Yes? It's important. Regulators require it, and I also don't want to be there promising the heavens. Fantastic. So I always lead with this, and I will always lead with this because maybe this is your first time being in one of my webinars. Maybe it's your 100th time. I've done hundreds, so I can assure you there's a few of you that have been with me for a while. Um, I'm not big on bullshit. I don't like it. I don't have time for it. There's nobody here that deserves it. The amount of energy, amount of money, amount of resources that my team and our company staff put into building tools that actually have merit is at another level compared to just building indicators, right? But what's more important is that you, as a trader on the other side of this presentation, you don't deserve a snake oil. You don't deserve fancy, shiny objects that aren't doing anything. The key here is that you guys are on a path for one thing and one thing only, to become successful in trading. What does success mean? To make a lot of money. Like, this is not a business of psychology. This is not a business of making buddies or business of cooking donuts or whatever. If you want to go and sell houses, be a realtor. Trading is about making money. End of story. And if you're not making money, it's not because you're not able to. It's because you're not doing it right or you don't have the right tools. There's nothing else to it. It's just cut as dry. You're either doing something wrong, or you haven't learned the right things yet, or you're struggling with the wrong things because you're not using the right products or the right strategies. It's that simple. Okay. Success is possible. And my goal here today is to help you fine tune that. Some of you will really adapt to what we're sharing here today. Some of you won't. It may or may not be for some of you, but the goal here is to help as many people as possible. And we're going to go over data. We're going to go over stats. We're going to go over strategy. We're going to go over software. And if you like this, then this is definitely going to be right for you. Okay. Now, I always like to ask this because I don't know where you're at. I don't know how many in here are actually struggling. Can you guys tell me, just put an S in the chat box if you're actually struggling right now? Like, I don't need a big, long story. I don't need to know how much money you've won or lost, or if you're at the end of your ropes or you're just beginning and you don't like the way it feels to take a losing day. Like, we all know what the markets can do to a human being. Okay. But if you're struggling right now, okay, then I need you to hear what I'm about to say. Okay. Yeah, this is live. Wance, I'm here. Yeah, you're here, brother. Yeah, welcome. So, um, trading can really be hard. And I know this. I've seen people go through some pretty hardcore situations in trading. And I've seen traders come in right away with no experience and do really, really well. I've seen traders come in with no experience and do terrible. Seen really good, intelligent people that have doctor's degrees and engineering degrees, and they've built $100 million companies, and yet they just can't figure out why they can't get trading to work for them. Okay. Trading is a casino. So let me explain this. Okay. Trading is definitely a casino. It's not just a casino, it's a casino of chaos. Why? Because the market is basically different every single day. You will never have the same thing repeat itself every single day because conditions are never the same every single day. That's the difficult part. Learning the patterns, learning the setups is the easy part. The hardest part is applying that pattern and the setups in conditions that are constantly freaking changing. So my job here is to give you a little bit of experience. Been doing this a long time. Give yourself a pat on the back that you haven't quit yet. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is understanding that some of this struggle is not your problem. Some of this struggle is just the reality of the industry. The market is a difficult environment. Some days you're trending, some days you're oscillating, some days you're choppy, some days you're trending, then you're going to choppy, then you're choppy, then you're exploding. Like, how the hell can you get really, really good in an environment that is all over the place? That's like learning how to play basketball. You go to the court, it's super, super good today. Tomorrow you show up with the ball and there's ice on the freaking court. And you're like, what the hell happened? Right? Like, that's the reality of trading. Okay. So my goal here is to stop you from wasting a lot of time and a lot of money, because I'm going to share with you some golden nuggets that I think are very, very important. And then you can learn how to take this information and put it to use for you. Okay. Does this make sense? Does everybody understand that? Okay. I'm going to drop some truth bombs. I'm going to drop some stuff that's going to help you. I'm going to give you some really statistical concepts that are going to make a lot of sense to a lot of traders that maybe didn't, right? So does everybody understand that? Give me a yes if that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. This is called Orderflow Heatmap. Now, heat map is powerful because heat map is basically, it's a data table. And it's a data table that you have no idea is even existing in the market. This is something that blew me away when I started studying order flow, is that there's so much stuff going on inside of a candle that if you can take that data and you can maximize its efficiency, you have really, really strong alpha. So much that 99% of the traders that you'll ever talk to don't even know what the hell you're going to be doing with this, because most people don't even know this stuff exists. This is the difference between order flow. So order flow is in its own category. Like, there's trading strategies, there's indicators, there's momentum. Order flow is a completely different universe of people. We don't talk the same. We don't think the same. We don't trade the same because order flow is not the same. Okay. And so we're going to go through this. We're going to go through it all today. I've got a lot to share with you, a lot to unpack. But before we do this, we're going to give away a license. We're going to give super good pricing today. So don't worry, it's a huge, huge launch. This is something we've been working on for better part of 6 months. This is not some little quick tool that gets put out and hopefully everybody trades on it. This is a really, really powerful piece of software that once you understand what it can do, and all of the things that you can actually optimize and actually look at as a trader using automated systems, the power is massive, and we're going to talk about that, especially considering that we just got through Christmas and the results, even in the most quietest conditions, were incredible. How many of you guys would love to have the last month of very successful trading, even though Christmas and New Year's and holidays was effect, and yet it still didn't even break this system? Right? Most trading strategies shit the bed over Christmas and the holidays because volume drops, etc. This one doesn't because order flow is not like other trading strategies, and we're going to talk about that. Okay. Oh, and it's meant for prop trading because the time in the market is so minimal that you're not going to worry about trailing drawdowns, and we'll get into this. Okay. So there's two types of traders, right? There's the discretionary traders, and then there's the automated traders, right? And a lot of traders will do both. Yes, it's recording, Lance. Yeah, we'll get you a recording. A lot of traders will do both. And in reality, okay, everybody, a second here, everybody starts here. Why? Because everybody learns here. Okay. And the issue is that a lot of people have problems because of specific reasons. Not everybody's problems are the same. Some people have emotions. Some people have speed of execution. Some people can't process information quick enough to make a decision. Some people are just not really good at reading the market. Like whatever your situation is, a lot of it just boils down to condition, right? Like you have, conditions can be really shitty. How many of you guys would agree? You get up in the morning, you did everything right. You went to the gym, you drank your protein shake, your mindset's good, you journaled, you prayed, you kissed your wife, everything is great. You sit down and wham, the market just rips your gut out. Well, that's not your problem. The market's not meant to favor you. The market's the market. And what ends up happening is that a lot of traders learn that there's a mechanical way to become better in this industry. Now, the rise of automated trading, algorithmic trading specifically, is growing faster than any other trend in the industry next to AI. AI is the first, automated systems is the second. And I do believe it has a lot to do with data. I'm a big believer in data. One of the things that you'll want to know here is that automation can do a lot of things. You can increase your speed of execution. It can make you more accurate with your fills. It will definitely help minimize your emotions because you're not the one pushing the buttons once you set the software up. It will always improve your execution because your improved order entry is not you doing it, it's a computer. You'll miss less trades. It's always going to be systematic and mechanical because an algo is designed for that and that only. But where the big kahuna is in the data, a lot of traders don't have a track record. And even if they did have a track record, it's probably all over the place because they're trying one strategy for a week or two, and then they flip to another strategy for another week or two. And what ends up happening is that they can't really rely on the belief system that is attached to the way they're trading. So you as a trader, you might have a lot of information. You might know a lot. You've been to a million webinars and bought 100 courses, but you still may not have a long enough track record of data where you get up and you truly believe in your edge, where you actually know without a certainty or with certainty, without a shadow of a doubt, that the data that you've collected is why you believe in it, no matter what the conditions are, no matter what the day is, no matter what's going on. You just know that over time your strategy has an edge. You will not know that unless you are in the top 1% of traders that have logged hundreds and hundreds of trades manually. Hundreds, not 10, not 20, hundreds. So, do you guys understand that when you run an algo with literally 5 minutes to set the software up, once we teach you how to do that, and maybe 30 minutes of optimization, maybe 60 minutes, depending on how back you go, maybe 2 hours, depending on if you're like me and I want to optimize years of data, right? Depending on the market. But in 2 hours, maybe 3 hours max, I can accomplish what that would take me months to do manually. Wouldn't it be nice to know that in 3 hours, I can tell you if the strategy's garbage or not versus 3 months of having to do this manually? Like, what did we just save? We just saved your lifeline of time. Like, I'm here to tell you right now, algorithmic trading may not be what everybody knows right out the gates. And running an algo may not be what everybody's used to, or maybe you're scared of it, or maybe you're nervous, or you don't know much about it. But if you came to me and you said, "Hey, Sean, I got a strategy," I'll say, "Great. Can you show me 3 months of your trading logs trading that strategy?" And you're going to say no. I say, "Well, you don't have enough data then for me to even validate if that strategy has alpha." So for me, historical data in the past is historical. Okay. And walk forward testing means real time. But nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Nobody, whether you're a manual trader or an automated trader, walk forward testing, real trading in the future, nobody knows. Tomorrow, we don't know if tomorrow is going to be a huge trending day or it's going to be choppy. But one thing I can tell you this, that I would rather go to battle, okay, with 3 months of data saying that in the past, right? Give you an example. Let's say I have an algo and I got 3 months of data or a month of data of a strategy and it's doing this. And then I have a month of data and I don't know what it's doing. We both of us still need to trade tomorrow, but I will always trade this because at least I have historical information that gives me confidence that in the past it was doing pretty damn good. Therefore, in the future, I have a higher level of expectancy than just hoping that this will work. Does everybody understand? Data is the power behind belief systems. Belief systems is the power between you actually succeeding because you're going to trade better. You're going to believe in what you're doing. You're going to have evidence that the software is designed to do what it's going to do. So if you're new to automated trading, that's my segue. I'm a big believer in quantified data. I was a manual trader for a very long time. I've been a quant trader for a very long time. I do both. It depends on the strategy and it depends on how we do it. But it's really, really important that you learn this. And if you're new here, who in here is completely new to algos? Type an N if you're new to algo trading. If you're new, just put an N. We're here to help you. We will mold you into being quants, retail quants. You don't got to be a quant going to work for MIT. I think sometimes people hear the word quant or algo and they're like, oh God, like that's too techy. No, I mean, I can teach somebody that has 5 days of trading experience how to set up an algo and be a hell of a lot more ahead than right than somebody that's trading manually. Okay, so let's talk about heat map. Okay, let's talk about heat map. Give me 1 second here. So I am going to bring this up, and we're going to bring this slide up. Give me 1 second. So let's talk about order flow heat map for a second. Okay. So order flow heat map is everything about this presentation. Okay. So inside of a candle, you have a high and a low, open and a close. Every single candle has a high, low, open, and a close. Does everybody understand this? And this doesn't matter if it's range bars, Renko charts, time charts, volume charts, tick charts, Heikin-Ashi charts, whatever. Every bar has a high, low, open, close. That's how we read the data. Okay. But what you don't understand is that there's a whole lot going on inside every single candle that you may not know. You may not know the relationship to the buyers or the sellers. You may not know the net delta of the relationship of the buyers of the sellers. You might not know the cumulative delta of the relationship of that delta. And you're saying, well, what the hell is delta? Delta is the relationship between buyers and sellers, right? When there's more buyers than sellers, price should go up. When there's more sellers than buyers, price should go down. Delta is the net relationship between those two. That's just basic delta 101. However, when we take all of these different variables, okay, down here there's a table and it says state, bid ask percentage, delta, cumulative delta, delta percentage, and then bar volume. All of this is going on inside of the frickin' bar and you don't even know it, right? Like when you look at a price chart, if I said, you know your bid ask percentage right now in the bar, you're probably going to go, what? Right? I say, what's your delta? What's the cumulative delta over the last 14 bars? You're going to say, I don't know. What's the delta percentage? What's the volume on the bar? Right? And how is it all working together? So can you understand that there is a whole lot of other stuff going on inside the order flow? The order flow is coming from time and sales. Time and sales is coming from the uh, basically the dome, and then the dome is coming from inventory. The inventory gets executed into the time and sales, and then it transfers into the bar. But all of that stuff is happening inside of the actual chart. And so what we do is we create a table. This table down here creates a graph. And what happens is whenever all of the data lines up for confluence, we put a little marker on the bar. Why is this important? Well, because when you could have red and green or red and blue, right, inside of a bar, and that means there's no confluence. Look at the confluence here when you see all of this is confluence. See how it's all one color? These candles, everything is lining up. This candle, everything is lining up. This candle is not, right? This candle is not. This candle's mixed. This candle's mixed. You can see there's a gray space here. This candle's got confluence. Where did the move start? Right from that first candle of confluence. Mixed. So what we do is we take the data from the bars and then we look for alignment. Alignment is when everything under the sun lines up in your favor for either long or short entries. And then what we do is we apply it to momentum filters. We'll trade it in the direction of a trend, or we'll trade it in the direction of a momentum oscillator, because you're gonna have confluence in different scenarios. But when you have it when you're on the right side of the market, it's a very powerful thing, right? If you're on the right side of momentum and all of a sudden you get confluence, bam, you're in a trade. You don't even know it. You're out for 4 points or out for 4 ticks, and you've already taken a profit before you even knew that the bar had any data going on. And this is the whole point, is like, we're not getting all fancy inside the candles. You don't need to load a dome or an inventory. You don't need to load time and sales. All of this is done inside of the software. All you do is you load the software, you set the settings, which we've already done, by the way. We already have pre-configured settings. And then basically you just turn it on and you wait for the market to line up, and it will automatically execute trades when the market is in confluence. Does that make sense? Give me a yes if that makes sense. I know it's a lot, but it should be the start. Okay. Now, this is what it looks like in a trending market, right? Do you notice how there's a bunch of C's? You see how there's a bunch of signals on bars, but there's no trades? Because we have filters. We've put directional filters in place. We've put trend filters and momentum filters in place, so that when you're on the right side of momentum and you're on the right side of trend and order flow lines up, bing, bang, boom, you get a scalp. It's that simple. Order flow is the trigger to entry. The trend or the filters are the condition, right? And if you're in the wrong conditions, we don't take a trade. That's the whole point, right? We don't want you taking trades in the wrong conditions, right? So this is a great example of using range bars. The reason we like range bars for this is because it shows the true open, high, low, close. When you use Renkos, it can definitely mask price. You can use Renkos with the software. Our algorithm looks at the true open of a bar anyways, but the point is that it's really clean. Here's a great example. In a trending market, you're going to take scalp after scalp after scalp, because confluence is going to line up and it's going to take you into these trades. And they're going to be very fast, and they're going to be very efficient, and they're going to be very, very clean, quick scalps, because you're going to get in super fast, because algos execute quickly and you're not going to miss it. By the time a bar closes and your eye drifts down to here to see if there's confluence, you've already hit your target. because order flow happens so quickly, you don't even have time to process 7 pieces of data all lining up at the same time. The trade's over. By the time your brain can actually comprehend the data, the trade's already done. And that's why order flow has to be automated. Anybody that trades order flow manually is a special breed. And it's because they spent their years crafting that skill, right? And ultimately, the key here is that when you use order flow manually, you're normally going to be doing it on slightly larger bars because you need time to think. And most traders can't read the order flow because they can't process what the data is telling them because so much information coming in and the brain overloads with information. Okay. So that's why we automate it. Now, here's a great example of a trending market to the short side, right? Market stops down. Like we're not talking big trades here. We're talking base hits and we're talking very, very, very quick base hits. Why? Because the enemy is time in the market. The reality here, time in the market. Time in the market is your enemy. As a trader, the longer you're in the market as a day trader, especially if you're trading for prop firms, the bigger the chance of you blowing out your accounts or hitting your trailing drawdown. So strategies like this are not meant for you to be in the market for long periods of time. They're meant for things to line up with a very high degree of accuracy. And then all of a sudden they come in, boom, they hit your trade, they hit your target, and you're done. You're waiting for the next confluence signal. And in moving markets, when the market's moving, you're going to get an incredibly large amount of trades, right? So much that, you can basically filter the time of day in which you trade down to a very short period of time. Now, I think it's important to talk a little bit about why algo development is not equal. There's a lot of trading software companies that will build an automated strategy, but what they're building is they're building this. They're building the entry signal, okay? And that's fine. I mean, anybody can code a buy or a sell signal, but where we don't do that. So the this would be considered the confluence. Okay, so we'll talk about the confluence here. So that would be the confluence. Okay, so the confluence is the actual entry trigger. But what we do is we have a testing engine. We call this the algo engine. Call it the algo engine. And we bring the strategy through a series of testing protocols. What it is the goal is that if I can take a strategy that's doing this and I can find a way for it to do this. Why? Because I want to know the best parameters. I want to know the best time of day to trade it. I want to know the best stops and targets to trade. I want to know the best filters. Do I want to use trend? Do I want to use momentum? Do I want to use a certain bar size? I don't want to just rely on the signal. I want to rely on the conditions, the filters, the criteria, the stops, the targets, the money management, everything that can give me more confidence that the strategy is going to be more successful. Why? Why not? Right? Like, why would anybody want to trade a strategy that's going all over the place versus something that has been dialed in? So we test the entry signals, we test the stop losses and the targets, we test the time of day, we test the money management, we test the filters, the trends, the structure, momentum. We test it all. Why? Because then what we do is we can create alpha, and alpha is what all trading strategies are designed to produce once completed, right? A human, all of us in here, the goal should be alpha. Alpha is the term used by algorithmic traders that defines an edge, expectancy, and you want alpha, right? If you don't, if you're not having, if you don't have a lot of money coming in from your trading, it's because you have not determined alpha. And therefore, the goal of an algo engine is to determine the best alpha. Now, we're not talking one or two settings here, but the best part about this is that it's already built. We've already done all this. We've already gone through all this testing. We've already gone through all the testing for the optimized templates. And on the AMA, we have we every time we do these presentations, we always do an AMA the next day. Our development team is going to do what we call an Ask Me Anything private webinar. And we go through the algo testing process. We show you the settings. We show you this. We basically walk you through from start to finish so that you don't have to worry about learning this or doing this by yourself. But the goal is that it's in a very, very user-friendly custom interface. The settings are easy. We'll teach you what we did, but it's already pre-built. So the cool part is that I'm a big believer, if you're going to buy a Ferrari, any car enthusiast knows that it's not just the way it looks, it's because they know what's under the hood. This is what we consider to be under the hood, so to speak, right? But that doesn't mean you need to know how to build the Ferrari. You don't need to know how to be the one that changes the oil and does all that. But it's good to know what's going on and why the strategy is so valuable. We're going to show it to you. We're going to explain it to you, but it's already pre-built. It's already pre-configured, right? Does everybody understand that? Type of yes, that makes sense to you. Okay. Because a lot of traders don't want to have to learn how to do that right out the gates. I don't blame you, right? If I was brand new to this and I'm like, you mean I got to learn all that? That seems like a time commitment. No, you don't. We've already done it all for you. But I still think you should devote at least an hour or two of your life to coming in and at least learning what it is, because then you'll feel a lot more confident in the work that our team has done to put everything together for you. Does that make sense? Now, I don't like to read a bunch of text on a slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to uh, basically, I'm going to just, we're going to call this, yeah, this is order flow detection. Yeah. And this should be order flow. My mistake. There's a typo. I'm going to get you to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of that because that's pretty much all of the foundation of what the strategy has internally in the system. Okay. Can you guys just type a yes that you can watch the replay and you can write notes after, right? But just type a Y that you guys have taken a screenshot of this so that you guys have it. And then that's kind of like, kind of like a one pager of everything that's inside of the software. I'm not big on reading slides. You guys can do that after. However, this is what it looks like. Simple, clean. You've got directional EMAs or momentum oscillators on the chart. We use them as filters. And then basically when the software hits confluence, it basically takes the trade, right? This is using range bars. You can use it on other time frames. We've tested extensively on the S&P. Why? Because S&P has very, very good relationship to order flow, right? Why? It's just a lot more data. The Nasdaq has great data. We just spend a lot of time on the S&P just due to the fact that most order flow is done on S&P trading. You can put it on Russell and crude oil and gold, but it's a thinner market, right? It's a thinner market. So order flow is really good on indice markets. Frank, what is a good scalp target? Well, it really depends on the template. We've got settings for this, right? I see a bunch of questions, guys. I'll go over it after. Just bear with me. I will get to them after. Okay, guys. So here's some examples of some long trades, right? And basically, you can see inside of the heat map, you can see it's all mixed, right? Like it's mixed, right? You get mixed, it's mixed data, and then all of a sudden, boom, confluence, right? And you can see here, there was confluence here, there was confluence here. This was confluence where it all lines up and then target, right? So, and you can see the difference between the EMAs. The EMAs are flat versus the EMAs are spread out. We have filters for that. So basically, when the market is moving in a direction and we get a nice confluence signal, it's because we're reading the table. It's not some random little icon on a bar. It's all data driven by order flow. Makes sense, guys? So let's go in and let's take a look at another setup. Here's a great example, right? And you can see how clean the trades are when there's strength of trend. I truly, truly love this when direction is defined. And what's really cool about this is that we have filters that can do that for you because you don't have to worry about, well, is the direction strong enough or weak enough? No, the filters will do that for you. Yeah. So you won't have to worry about, strength of trend, and we have slope and we have momentum. It's all built into the engine. The big thing is the order flow signals are lining up for confluence, and it's a bar close entry. So what's nice is that it executes at the close of the bar. So that way you always know that when the signal's happening, it's going to execute on the bar close, which is really good for testing. Okay. So here's another example of just using it with momentum. Now we're privileged because what's really cool about this is most oscillators, right? You can see there's green here, right? And then there's green here, right? We've actually built an oscillator that detects the change of momentum from here and from here. So what's happening is that if you look at an EMA, the EMA is crossed like right here, but we have momentum going from here up. So technically, the positive leg is here, which means our trade signals will happen here and here. We're not late to the party. This is the Momo cross filter, and I think it's super, super powerful because you get into trades sooner than waiting for positive momentum to cross a zero line, and we can capture long trades here and capture long trades here and at the beginning of a leg versus only getting the last one in the leg. And this is just something that we've built internally in the engine, which you guys will take advantage of. But it's very, very neat because we have the ability to ride the wave at the beginning of the move. And it's just a filter, right? It's a filter inside. Here's a great example of it just trading both sides of the market, right? Like, and we're talking a 10 tick range bar. This is the equivalent to one less than a 1 minute chart. Like it's like a 1 minute time frame on range bars. And like you can see, like you'll get signals, but not unless the software is designed to take them, right? And that's the whole point is that we've got confluence signals put in place so the software only does what it's supposed to do at the right time. Isn't that something, isn't that nice to know that you can use a tool that has been configured to trade in the best conditions? And then order flow is something that you physically can't do yourself. So you have a piece of software that can actually execute what you would not be able to do or see manually. That is power, right? Because now you're saying here, I've got a robot, right? And a robot's going to do what I can do for me, right? Now, this is what it looks like on a busy trading day. Like this is an active trading system, guys. This is you will take trades and you will do well with this because this is a scalping system. We've tested this on like just trading the first hour of the day, and it's incredible. Like you don't need to sit in front of your screen all day with this system. Like you could be up and at it, be done. And that's the whole point, right? Will you take a losing trade? Sure. Like there's going to be a losing trade in life. Like that is trading, but the frequency of trade activity is quite high. So we've narrowed it down to just times of day that makes the most sense. Like the best time to trade the S&P or the Nasdaq is in the first 2 hours of the US session or in the Euro session, right? You can do that on gold or oil at the right times, but you can understand that. Here's a great example of it just trading day over day over day, like it just up and to the right. Like you can see equity curve just goes straight up, right? That's January 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th and 12th, right? Like this is very recent, right? These are the last week of trading, right? And it's very busy. Like it's very busy because it's a scalping algo, right? And that's the point. Like if you're looking for base hits and you want to pass an eval or get to a payout or get called to live and be a great trader, uh, the goal is for you to do something that you can replicate. Does this make sense? So I always like to end with, you know, evidence. Like I said, it's all based on data. And normally what we do in these presentations is we don't normally spend hours and hours going through software today. Today is the webinar. The AMA is tomorrow, and the AMA is we're going to load it. We're going to set the software up. We're going to back test it. We're going to optimize it. We're going to deploy it live. You're going to see it. But if you're going to use a tool like this, then I would encourage you to want to know what it did. So this is the last month, and this is even the reason I'm really so excited about this is because even in the quietest, most worst, and dangerous times to trade, the software crushes it. Why? Because it's order flow. Like order flow is order flow. Like it's not a MACD, it's not an EMA. Like this is order flow. And there's something to be said about that, right? This is starting in December 15th, going up to like literally, I think yesterday or the day before. I don't know. I don't know when we took the image, but the point is that this was Christmas, right? And it didn't have a losing day, right? And so the point is that this is 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. This is the current week. This is Monday and Tuesday this week. I think that's when we did the PowerPoint. Right. And so, like, even if you didn't trade here, I mean, it still was profitable both weeks. Some of you weren't trading. But when the markets open back up and the markets are busy, right, this is normal conditions. right? And I would have liked to think that if this wasn't December and holidays, it would have been much, much bigger. But, we could have easily blocked this time and been, wow, look at how big it is. But we don't need to because the strategy performs and it performs consistently because we understand what it's doing. And I think that we can leave it at that, right? Like I said, I'm not big on hocus pocus, fluff, snake oil, and bullshit, right? Like as a trader, you cannot do what we can do with this system manually. It's not something that you can say, oh, I'm going to go try it out. No, and you can't do it on any other trading platform. I can promise you, you're not going to be able to go to TradingView or MetaTrader or NinjaTrader or Quant Tower, and that is not available. It is only available on Tickblaze and is only available with the engine on Tickblaze because nobody else and no other platform in the world has the algo engine. And so what we've built is proprietary to us. And I can assure you that if you're a prop trader, or if you're a stock trader, if you trade stocks, if you trade futures, whatever market data you have inside of the platform with us, you can trade this on. Okay. So does that make sense? Give me a yes if that makes sense. We've seen it take up to, depending on if you trade the entire session, Devin. I mean, the morning you could have 5 to 10 trades. We've, depending on the time frame and the settings, you could have 20, 30 trades in a day. Order flow is busy, busy. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is I always like to give. I believe in giving back and rewarding. Uh, so let's do a giveaway, guys. Who we got here? Pete and Jeff. Somebody here got the giveaway link.
Yep, pulling it up now. One sec.
Thanks, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to announce a winner here. Hopefully, Lady Luck is on your side, and you've got, you know.
There you go.
So while we're doing that, okay. Um, while you're in, did everybody learn something today? I think the biggest thing that we can learn from order flow is that we can't do it ourselves. That is the most important part of this presentation, right? Many people will pick and choose the way in which they trade because they think they can reproduce it themselves. There's no way you can physically reproduce this. No way, right? And that's important because the human brain is not able to process order flow quick enough. So everybody can fill out the form. Okay. Everybody can fill out the form. We're going to give away a software license to somebody. Then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the pricing. Now, we're giving away an incredibly batshit crazy discount right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to have an AMA on Friday morning. I think today's Thursday. So Friday, yeah, tomorrow. Wow, the days just keep flying by. Friday morning, tomorrow, our team is going to be there and they're going to walk you through the whole process, setting up the software, back testing the software, optimizing the software, showing you the settings, and then we're going to give you the templates. So just so you know, we've pre-built templates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you those templates. So let me just give me a second here. So let me just grab this. So this is the template. Let me just share this with you guys. Bear with me. So this is the template that we've built on the S&P. I think it's going to the last day. Yeah, I loaded the software and we did it. So it's going to the 13th, right? So I haven't done any testing the last 2 days as been working on other projects. But the point is, okay, is if you look at the period breakdown, if you look at the period breakdown, okay, and if you just go up to the time of day, remember I'm on mountain time, so it's 2 hours. So that's 8 a.m. That's 8 a.m. to 11. You know that if you didn't trade into the European close, these results would be even way better. Like, I don't know how many traders are trading into the European close, but like the majority of the volume, look at this 88. Here's all the volume 88 trades in the first half an hour. That's 160 executions, right? So when you think about the strategy, you can see pre market is here. You could trade pre market, and the expectancy is actually quite big. The actual expectancy on this template was the highest 30 minutes before the S&P open. Okay. Anybody new to Tickblaze, just bear with me. We're going to give you some YouTube channels so you can learn it. Super easy, guys. Tickblaze is easy. Easy to learn, easy to trade. Tickblaze is not a difficult platform. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll give you some playlists and we'll get you all set up. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is like I could have, and this is the difference between sleazy snake oils guys and just real traders. I could have easily blocked 9 o'clock out of this back test, and I could have just showed you that. But the majority of traders are trading into the European close up to 11 or even 11:30. So I'm here to tell you that like it's not even about losing. Like most traders aren't trading past 10:30 as an order flow trader. Like most traders are done in the first hour of the day, right? And that's important. So if you look at the distribution and you look at the time of day, we're not even trading into the afternoon. Like you could trade in the afternoon. This is just morning. Most traders are trading the US Open. You can trade an hour a day and rock this. That's the whole point. How many of you guys would like to trade just 1 hour a day, the S&P, scalp your trades, 5 or 6 trades a day, bing, bang, boom, and be done? I don't know. That's what everybody's wants. I mean, that's why we build this stuff, right? So um, let's go in and take a look here. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to go and show you the, I'm going to go and show you, I'm going to go and show you the heat map. I want to show you the heat map. This is the fun part for me. It's going to load the data. Now, a couple things I want to do here. If you don't use filters, okay, if you don't use filters, you can't trade this system. So let me repeat myself, okay? This might look like there's a lot going on. There's not. I have them visually turned on so that you can understand. This is a slope filter. Okay, what does a slope filter do? It means we measure the strength of trend. What this means is you could have EMAs that are separated, right, like this, or you could have EMAs that are separated like this. I would rather trade direction when the slope is strong, right, versus flat, right? So what we do is because EMAs and stuff like this can be misinforming. Like you can actually think you're in a trending market. EMAs are flat, but they're separated, and you're going to get chopped around. So what we do is we test the strength of trend, and that's all this is. So you don't even need to see this. This is internal. This is internal settings in the software. Same thing here. What we do is we don't use momentum on the histogram. Like this is the histogram here. We don't use that. We're actually using these EMA lines here, which are EMAs on the histogram. So what we're doing is we're actually starting the directional bias here or starting it here, right? Or even here. So you can see that this was a big, big down move in momentum, but we didn't really have negative momentum to here. But we would be trading this down leg because the decrease in momentum is there. And this is all done internally. You don't even need to think about it. Just pretend it's not there. This is all part of the internal settings. We just have it in on so that you can see it. And this was Tuesday. This was Tuesday. Like, what a great day. Like, right? Like, I don't know about you, but like it can get bing, bang, boom, boom. You could be done 4 trades, 20 minutes. There's your day, right? Let's go back to the beginning of the day, right? And let's start here. Okay. And first trade was a loser. Okay. And then we had one winner, two winner, another loser, three winners, four winners, five winners, winner, 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 winner. Yeah. So you guys can see, right? It was just, but let me just kind of go into the data for a second. Let's zoom in. Let's just go into the heat map. Like you can't even see the data. Like you can't even see the numbers when the trade executes because the key here is that we're looking at state, delta bid and ask, delta, cumulative delta, delta percentage, and volume, all as a factor of the system. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels of confluence lining up when momentum and slope and EMAs are all on the right side. And this is the trigger. Everything else is the filter. So market switches, bang, bang. Does this make sense? So, I just want to share that with you because a lot of people like to know, like, uh, Well, that's why we like it on big markets like the S&P and the Nasdaq, guys, because you wanna trade it on markets that are not too thin. It's why we're using range bars, nothing smaller than like that. But I mean, depending on how much size you're trading, I mean, we're going in with 5 lots. These are 5 contracts on the S&P. This is a mini. This is not a micro, not 50 micros. These are 5 lots. And yeah, I mean that's what happened over the last month, right? So the weekly data, I mean, this was the profit over the last month, right? So, anyways, guys, hopefully you guys found that. I just always like to go into that and bear with me, guys. I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint again. We got a winner here, guys. Who's the winner?
Yes, we do. The winner is John Haytall, Haytol, John Haytall.
John, brother. Lady Luck is on your side. Congrats. Everybody give John a round of applause. Hopefully he enjoys the algo. Hopefully you learned something, John. You here? Got to be here to win it. Nobody's here.
Yeah, there it
JH is
is.
here. Wow, John. I always love the reaction. Congratulations. Great,
Check
great. I
check your email.
fantastic, guys. Yeah, you're gonna win. You're gonna get it. So you can go and enjoy the day. Yeah, congrats, brother. Okay, guys. So can I get a just a yes in here? I see a bunch of questions. I'll go over them after. Just give me some time, guys. I will read them. I promise you I will spend time. We'll go over Q&A, okay? Did everybody enjoy the presentation? I always like to know because like we put these things together and we try to help and teach, but if nobody's enjoying it, then we can stop doing them and go fishing, go to the gym, go shopping. Great. So normally these types of systems are very expensive, right? How many of you would agree that, software in this industry can be quite expensive? Yes? Give me a yes if you've been around the block long enough to know that this industry is damn expensive. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you something that normally doesn't come around ever. And the reason for this is that we have an app store and our app store has a lot of products. So what we like to do is we like to give discounts on launches. Launches are the best time to buy software. Why? Because we give the biggest discounts, right? So this is really, really important you understand that. So I'm going to go over pricing. Let's get into it. Now, for us to launch this system, let me explain what's included. The core engine, the signal of the heat map confluence, and all of the algo templates are part of the software package. Okay, that's the software component. We have detailed user documentation. We can install it, help you set it up, get it deployed. Tomorrow, we're going to do a really big VIP coaching session with everybody in the session. Okay. And then you can communicate with all the algo traders in the community. Okay. This is the add-ons. Okay. Normally, this type of software, especially with the core engine, you're close to 10 grand. If you go to some of the more known algo development firms that are building sophisticated systems, you're anywhere between 5 to 10 grand for these algos. We're going to give you 92% off. It's $700. I mean, it's super, super easy, super clean, super consistent, and it's cheap, guys. Like the reason we're able to do this is because we have a large following, which means we make it up on the volume by offering better prices to a lot more traders. If we only had a small community, we would have to charge really high prices, and you guys can do the math. So because of our experience and our size, and we're grateful that we have so many clients, we can pass those savings down onto the masses as a larger group. Okay. Now, this is a marketplace product. So, what does that mean? It means every year we have a maintenance fee of $300, but that's for the entire store. That's not for each product. So, maybe you own one, two, three, or four apps in the marketplace. Your maintenance fee is basically your maintenance fee. It's not per product, it's per store, right? So, if you buy one product today, or if you've already bought a product, at the you get your first year free. So your maintenance fee is covered for the first year. In a year from now, if you want to keep the software active, you got to pay the maintenance fee. But that's good. That's bug fixing and that's updates to the platform and that's everything. And if you're buying multiple apps, which 90% of people have multiple apps, you pay one maintenance fee across the entire group of your software. Yeah. So tomorrow is the coaching. Why is this important? Right? Uh, it's important because I believe that education is the backbone to success. but I
Excuse me,
believe,
Sean, that
yes,
there's a little typo there. It's at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Eastern.
Correct.
You guys shifted it?
With the West Coast people shifted it. Yes.
All right, all you people on the West. I'm on the West. So,
Yeah, but you're like me.
Coach,
You don't sleep.
I do not sleep. I am on an espresso and it keeps me going. So, the reason we do the VIP sessions is because the key is that algo trade. If you're brand new to algo trading, this is where you want to be. I promise you, we are going to give you a university's degree in algo trading in 2 hours or less. You do not need to be a master of the markets to do this. You can come in and learn from a very, very easy to understand group of people. And if you found that I'm teaching in a good way, I promise you, you're going to love my team because they're the people that work with me and we build these things together. So you're in good hands. We're going to talk about the software and the settings, the back testing, the optimization. We're going to talk to you about it is a lifetime license. Yeah, it's a one. We don't use the term lifetime, Frank, because we all have an end date to us, right? Our time is expiring. But it's a one-time purchase. Yes, Frank. Yeah, it's a one-time purchase. Yeah. Yeah, lifetime is technically illegal to use from a compliance perspective, so we use one time. It's better. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah. But anyways, guys, we will teach you how to set it up and we will there. Now, a couple things. If you're new to Tickblaze, okay? Anybody in here new to Tickblaze, type an N if you're new to Tickblaze. Yes? Okay. Can you do me a favor, please, Pete, and give me the main YouTube channel for Tickblaze? So give me 1 second.
Sure, no
Actually,
problem.
I'll I'm going to do it on my browser. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to load this up. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff here. So if you're new to Tickblaze, okay, what you want to do is you want to go to YouTube, okay, and can everybody see this here? Everybody got me here? Yes? Okay. So if you just go to Tickblaze, I'm going to put the link in the chat box here. You already did it, Pete. Thanks, sir. The way we do these is by playlist. So when you go here, you know you're on the Tickblaze YouTube when it says Tickblaze, right? Um, we have playlists. So this playlist here is for the standard manual trading component. There's two desktops. This is for the algos, for the strategies. So these are like 3 to 10 minute videos, guys. If you're brand new, I highly encourage just watching these playlists. And then you can get really up to speed on just the foundation. Tickblaze is free. You do not have to pay for Tickblaze. If you go to the Tickblaze website and you create an account, right, which you have to do. So you have to create an account to buy from us. You can't just go and buy. So you come in here, you sign up. Okay. And then ultimately, basically, what's important is that you have a marketplace. You go to shop. This is an algo product in the marketplace. You can see we have a bunch of products. If you click on premium algos, today's algo is going to be here and it's somewhere here. Orderflow Heatmap right here. So if you click, you're going to want to buy this. So normally it's a lot more expensive. This is the product. And basically, you have to create an account, log in, and then you can purchase. Okay. Now, a couple things so you understand what's available to you is there's also a community that you can have access to, which is free. And here it is for anybody that's new in here. And if you want to join the community, you can just join the community, right? And it's free. You can click on things, come here, talk to other traders. People are posting their charts, and there's order flow traders in here, and there's a section for free indicators. You come in here, take a look at some of these people's free software. People are posting scripts, and it's all free, right? It's all free. But the point is, you need to learn the platform. If anybody in here has ever used NinjaTrader or Quant Tower or TradingView or Rhythmic or like that, like this is super, super easy. Like really basic chart trading functions, load a chart, load a workspace, you name it. We've got some pretty fancy stuff in here when it comes to Dome and order flow and stuff. And we have other playlists down here, but none of this will matter until you really understand the two. So my suggestion would just learn the two platform playlists first, And then you can come down here and if you're a prop trader and you're trading for prop firms, you can easily connect your rhythmic data feeds or your DX feeds or anything like that to the platform. Yeah. Does that make sense? Great. So let me just do this. Let's get back to the PowerPoint. Let's go back here and turn it up. I'm just on an ultra wide monitor, so I just have to always resize this so you guys can see it, or else it'd be super, super big. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a poll here, guys, because I need to, this is for support. And it's really about us helping with licensing. If you guys could please do me a favor and answer the poll, I really would like to know because we have to send you specific links for the VIP coaching. We also want to send you an onboarding email so that we can help you with